You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumping where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostag. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
Our offense was rolling there really the last three quarters, but second half really impressive and heck of an effort on his part. So a lot of growth there, but man, really took a step forward tonight.
Just what you think overall of, being down 20 at half and answering that the third quarter the way you did, tying it before.
Yeah, resilient group. This is a resilient group. We could have given in, and this group just chooses not to drop the sword. We continue to fight and compete and to come back and win the third quarter the way we did. I think we were up 2 at the start of the fourth and got down a little bit, 6-7, fought our way back, never gave in. We could have given there, given in there in the fourth, down 6-7, high quality shots to close out, executed, everything we wanted down the stretch. Just needed one more shot to go our way. Fox hit a big shot. I don't know what else to say. You get that stop, it's a different game. And then, Harper made a tough shot over Sadiq at the rim. And then we got a couple good looks down the stretch ourselves.
What was the defensive adjustment out of half? I saw you guys were in a little bit of the zone as well.
We were primarily zone. Yeah. And then a little bit of, transition. And we did some things out of the zone, but I think it's very disruptive. It kept Queen at the rim, allowing him to rebound. The guards were great. Having her back was fantastic, regardless of man or zone. So, just, more intentional there in the second half with our defense and our rebounding. But give the guys a ton of credit.
And speaking of her, just first game back, sometimes guys are a little bit tepid or timid just coming back from injury. But what did you see from him tonight?
Yeah, that's not Herb. He doesn't ease his way into stuff. He knows one way to play, and that's how he plays. And he had us all energized and focused. And, he's such a special player. And he means so much to our team, especially on the defensive end. Obviously, we got a ways to go there. But just having his spirit back was a huge lift for us tonight.
just going back to Queen, just what's it like seeing one, a rookie, and two, a center, being able to just take over games for stretches the way he has this season?
Well, any rookie that takes over like that, it's really special. And then, to have a hub like that as your 5 spot that can play make and score and make plays, it's really special. You don't see that too often in this league. I think you and I can probably come up with a couple names in the league that can do that. But that was impressive. I don't know how to say it other than that. It was a special performance on his part to make plays, to pass the ball, play make, create for others and for himself to get to the rim. Then he made timely plays too, in these clutch moments. For him to have that poise at this young age, it's special. You don't see that too often. Yeah, really special performance.
Yeah, pretty much that entire second half, the offense was either Queen or Trey Murphy. It was just like seeing those two kind of building that chemistry and figuring out how to have special performances like this where they're playing off of each other.
Yeah, it's great to see that growth out of those two. They play off each other so well. Murph's finding ways to play off ball now with Queen out there. He doesn't always have to have on ball coverage. So they have a great synergy going. Everybody right now with Queen, and the way we're moving off ball right now is really special. It's tough to guard. They don't know where we're cutting from, where we're moving from. Queen can take you off the dribble and make plays. But overall, the ball was moving in the second half. It was Queen, but as many people in transition, guys were sharing it, moving. And ultimately, that's how we want to play. I think our assists were up tonight, 35 tonight. Queen had a bulk.
This is the quickest way to
seeing Queen get to the free throw line like that. I mean, got 13 trips to the line tonight.
Yeah, I mean, as we've talked about, we got to make up the margin somewhere in the 3-point line, right? It's going to be the paint, the free throw line, and then turning teams over. I think we did that tonight. We got to the paint. I don't know what, 84 points in the paint. That was special. And then, to get to the line for Queen the second half was really impressive for a young guy. Keep putting pressure on the rim. I got to watch that last play and see if we could have done it again there. That's probably a teachable moment. Was that a time? I have not seen the play yet, but that was at another moment to get to the rim. But I thought he was fantastic, downhill, making plays for himself, for others, or drawing free throws.
What's kind of your message to a guy like that when he has a big night? He misses a shot at the end. He's probably beating himself up about the shot.
Well, you got us there, and you're going to have that. You're going to be in that position again. Trust it. We believe in you. Trust it. Make the right play.
James, can you talk a little bit more about the other guys that were trying to cut off of Derek Queen's playmaking? Like, you can focus on his playmaking, but it's really the other guys that also made it happen. I think Trey Herb cut more than we've seen probably in a game this year.
Mm-hmm.
So how's that process been like? Are you guys working on that games? Are you trying to get those guys moving more so that Queen's, facilitating can happen?
It is, we haven't cut that much, over the last couple of years. This is a little bit different for us. We still like cutting, in the past, but it was more off the pick and roll, where now it's more out of a 5-man hub that's making these plays. And we still ultimately want to cut regardless of who has the ball. But these guys are just finding avenues to get open to the rim. They're playing little what we call gaggles of clusters of off-ball actions and then reading the play from there. And we have trouble with it, obviously, defensively, and it's a tough cover. So this should only continue to grow throughout, the season. It's hard to scout for because it's really unpredictable. You can't really, as a coach, you can go in and tell them, here's what they're going to do. But on the fly, when they're doing this, it's very unpredictable offense. And that's how we want to play. And then you add the transition to it. That's another element. You had the half court. I think we had the balance today in the second half of transition, early offense, mixed with half court, hub, off-ball action. That's a pretty good combination offensively.
You're about to get a few more days between games. How much are you just looking forward to these opportunities for practice coming up here in the day?
Well, it's good. We need more practice. Obviously, there's so many areas of growth for us. We got a long way to go, and we'll do that. Tomorrow we'll get in the gym. We'll look through this one, see what we can do better. Areas of growth coming out of this one, and we'll have two consecutive practices to get after this thing. So I'm proud of our group. And finally, we have 2 days to kind of breathe and get better and get ready for Portland.
Jimmy, can you talk a little bit about the defense that you're probably going to want to work on a lot in these upcoming practices, right? 77 points a day in the first half. I think coming into today, last 7 games, you guys were allowing, I think, 120 points a game, really bad at the rim, corner threes.
It's our number one priority. You know, this is on me to move the needle in that direction. We have to get better defensively. It's not an option. We just have to. And it starts in transition. I think they had 20 points at half in transition. We had been making up ground there, and we have just fallen back the last 2 nights defensively. So we got to get back to principles there. Number one, stopping the ball, you know, not bleeding in transition. The board has been much better for us. We got to continue to hammer on the board. Our pick and roll coverage has to get better. We're going to have to continue to use this disruptive defenses as we get our feet underneath us, these zones, these presses that teams are going to have to prepare for. Ultimately, we got to get our man-to-man defense better, though, period. The physicality, the pick and roll defense, the off-ball defense has to improve. And that's on all of us, including me, to get that right.
You guys obviously have 3 rookies that have been really impactful for you guys this year. They had Dylan Harper, who had a really good game for them tonight. What's it been like just seeing this rookie class coming in this season and the impact they've been having throughout the league? So many of those young guys coming in and making an impact early.
Yeah, it's impressive. I mean, it's impressive. And, you know, we have 2 up there, and we're playing a third, and PB's giving us great minutes. And it's a really strong class. I mean, from top to bottom, tremendous depth, and guys that are stepping into the moment, you know, and making the most of their opportunity. These don't look like rookies to me. These are guys having major impact in clutch moments. We just saw 2 of them. You know, Queen and Harper made, you know, really big plays down the stretch. So a lot of maturity, and like we're very fortunate to have 3 of them. You know, we have 3 really good rookies, and they're all playing, and we trust them all, and they're only getting better. So, you know, the stock of talent is extremely high right now. Good. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all being an installment of PPR. For all things Pelicans, Coach Borrego kind of talking about the game.
We won, huh? We didn't win?
Well,
I couldn't tell for the press conference. I thought we won. Okay.
Well, hey, man, that's reminiscent of what we used to see back in the day, man. But, hey, man. PPR in the building. Shout out to the fan. Feel free to hit the like button, man. Pels fall short 135-132 despite DQ triple-double. A perfect quarter in which he played. The guy was awesome, man. 20 points in the quarter. He didn't turn the ball over in that quarter. The Pelicans had a magical quarter. 45 points.
Yeah,
it just didn't. It just did not end in a win, and that is the sad part about it. But watching Derek Queen do what he do in this game, and just these rookies are phenomenal, man. These guys here, just wish we had a little bit more help to kind of push it over the edge, so to speak. So shout out to you guys. Appreciate y'all for being in this building. Please feel free to strike the like button and the share button. Listening via different streams. If you're on X, hit that retweet, and retweet again. DC, listen, man. Pelicans drop again. We're now 3-22. It was a very gallant effort. It just wasn't enough. As usual, man. Let's just get into the talking point. The major thing is, of course, Derek Queen, man. How he played tonight, man, and that it was just historic and special, man. He is also the first rookie this season to score a triple-double. He had that perfect quarter in which in shooting in the third quarter, becoming the youngest player in NBA history to post a quarter with 20-plus points without a miss or a turnover. He was just on one. And the stat line was ridiculous. 31 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 4 blocks, 0 turnovers, 10 of 13 from shooting, 11 of 13 from the free throw line. It just everything, and then some, all except for the win. Thoughts on Queen as we roll into the PPR?
I like to put you on notice if you didn't know, man. We officially have a king, a joker, and a queen in the NBA. It's official, Q. he stamped, at least for me tonight, man. Derek Queen is going to be a very good player in the NBA. This was more impressive than the 30-point game in Dallas. He completely took over. And I wouldn't say single-handedly. The whole team was playing awesome in that third quarter, but he definitely was the catalyst, man, for them to be down, 20 points. And you just looking at this game, they allowed 77 points at the half to end that third quarter, and we be up by 2. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's just one quarter of basketball, and this is definitely a flash of what Queen can be. He still has to continue to improve. I thought Antonio Daniels during the game made an excellent point because I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking more of his conditioning is the only thing that's stopping him from, being that type of player on a nightly basis. And Antonio Daniels said when Queen realizes the amount of effort and energy that he needs to have to sustain this amount of play every night, he's going to be special. And that's what it is. You seeing what Troy Weaver and Joe Dumars saw in Queen, why they went and made the trade. And this is just another example of, what we possibly have on our hands, man, is a dude you can actually run your team through and basically get everybody else involved while he still go out there and eat. It's I see you in the stat, Chasey. It's Stacy. He's calling him a DeMarcus Cousins clone, and yeah, bro, you did call it. You definitely talked about Queen before we drafted him.
Yeah, I love that. I love that Derek Coleman comparison, bro.
Yeah, Derek Coleman.
That was a real good one, Stacy. You was on one on that one, brother. That was perfect.
Yeah. And you saw the cross he had, man. He crossed up Connect so bad, man. The dude fell. I thought he got injured. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah.
When are we gonna win? My man Watts wonder when we gonna win. Well, they getting two days of practice, man. So maybe they could go in Portland and get a win. That's what I said. The Portland maybe they beat Chicago again. I think they can probably get a win in one of those games. But tonight, watching Queen and also seeing Herb can't come back, man. Herb just he
Herb
provides something that you just can't quite measure it when Herb is playing the level that he's playing. Obviously, you're gonna point to his defense, but it just seemed like a different vibe, man. When Herb was out there, he was impactful. He looked fluid. He didn't look all stiff and rigid and timid and bad decision making. He looked like the Herb of old.
Yeah, it might be motivated by somebody playing out there, perhaps.
It might be motivated by all the people talking about they need to be out the starting lineup and we should trade them too.
Right. Yeah, well, it's Sadiq Bey on your team. If you Herb Jones, that's definitely a source of motivation, man. No doubt about it. But yeah, Herb he played really well tonight, DC. He was beyond impactful, man. 17 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 4 steals, plus 14 in 26 minutes, fresh from the injury. Shout out to Herb Jones.
Tonight, man.
Shout out to Herb, bro. Big ups to Herb. That was very good performance there. Trey Murphy really did it as well. He dropped 32.
Yeah, I like his aggressiveness tonight, man. Trey tonight is he played more the way I would want him to play. He took 21 shots too, Q. It was a 32, but it was a respectable, good 32. Big 3-pointer in a clutch moment in the game. We almost, had this one, and I would say maybe a little bit better adjustments down the stretch, better coaching, or let's say Borrego having them more prepared for these scenarios. I think we definitely could have won this game. Nobody's expecting Dylan Harper to go and get that shot at the end of the game, but you're also not expecting it to be that goddamn easy either, for him to just walk down and get a layup with 14 seconds left is kind of crazy. But nonetheless, I think this is what I want to see. Win, lose, or draw, I want to see these type of games, man. This is something worth watching. This is entertaining. It's interesting. And you can watch the players actually develop, and you can see Queen coming to his own real time, man. You know, it kind of stifled Fears tonight. He probably had the worst game I've seen him have statistically since he's been in the starting lineup. But
Yeah.
Derek Queen definitely made up for it. And PV had some impactful players out there too.
Yeah, Queen was he was shining tonight, man. And if Jay Fierce was you know, a little bit more active. He only had 8 shots, 2 of 8 from the field tonight. But yeah, I mean, just watching what Derek Queen did, man. 33 minutes, 33 points, 11 of 15 from the field, 11 of 13 from the foul line, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 4 blocks. He did have 4 turnovers in the game, but that's nothing, man. Plus 14. He was special, and guys really fed off of what he was doing, and they benefited. To get those assists, guys was knocking shots down. Trey Murphy, 38 minutes, 32 points. Trey was 13 of 21 from the field, 2 of 6 from downtown, 4 of 5 from the foul line, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, plus 12 for Trey. We talked about Herb, 26 minutes coming back, 17 points, 6 of 10 from the field, 5 of 5 from the foul line, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, plus 14 for Herb. He scored the same amount as Sadiq Bey, who played 36 minutes. He had 17 as well, 7-11 from the field, 1 of 3 from downtown, 2 of 2 from the foul line, and 6 rebounds to go along with 2 assists. He was plus 19. So Herb and Sadiq Bey, 17 apiece from both those guys. We mentioned Jay Fears in 21 minutes. He only had 5 points to go along with 4 assists and 3 rebounds, 2 of 8 from the field. He was 50% from downtown, 1 of 2 in the matchup. Off the bench, we seen the heavy minutes from Jose Alvarado. 31 minutes, he only had 10 points. He was 2 of 5 from downtown. He finished with 6 assists, 3 rebounds in the matchup. Bryce McGowan's had 24 minutes, 8 points for him to go along with 2 assists. PV, 13 minutes, 4 points from him in the game. 8 minutes for Eves, really just 2 points. And assist for Eves, really not a lot going on there. Carlo McAfee did see some action, 7 minutes, 4 points, 2 assists from him as well. And Jordan Hawkins really got the less amount of minutes of everybody, just 4 points, really didn't do anything. He attempted a free 3-point shot, didn't go in. So the Pels go down in this one, man. Like I said, it went down to a Sadiq Bey last minute 3-point shot. To see if they can kind of at least force the game into overtime. The Pelicans had opportunities in the second half after scoring a 45-point third quarter to try to close this thing out, push forward. So the numbers, if you take a look at the individual numbers, if my stat junkies out there to understand that the Pelicans 51 of 88 tonight, by the team, 58% shooting from the field by the Pels tonight versus 49% by the Spurs. The Spurs did hit 10 more 3-pointers than our Pels tonight, 17 of 36 for 47% by the Spurs. The Pels was only 7 of 26 for 27%. Pelicans did hit 88% of their foul shots, 23 of 26. Spurs with 20 of 25 for 80%. We were out rebounded 44 to 33. The assist game, Pelicans won it. They had 35 assists circulating that thing against 29 by the Spurs. The steals were there 8-5. They all blocked the Spurs 7-0, and they were single digits in turnovers tonight. 9 turnovers, 16 points off that thing. 15 turnovers by the Spurs, 17 points they gave up. The fast break game went to the Spurs. The points in the paint game went to us 84 to 62. And as you can see, at one point, 25-point lead they had on us. We really whittled that thing down and took it by 4, and we could not sustain. But what we did see, man, that they had a gallant effort in this game, and it came down to a final shot to tie that didn't work. But it was different than what we've seen in recent games where they have some fight, and then toward the back of the game, they just kind of things just go, awry. So go ahead, DC, chime in with these stats and give you a little breakdown, and then we'll kind of pursue the next move, my brother.
All right. First off, I want to shout out my man Jaden. What's happening, bro? He said, DC, we good with no draft picks, right? We have DQ. Yes, DC, no draft picks, no problem. I wouldn't say we don't have any draft picks, man. I think obviously, this team isn't going to end with the roster that we have. So I'm pretty sure we'll pick up some draft picks. Hopefully we can get back into the 2026 draft some way. But looking at this game tonight, man, statistically as a team, I thought it was just tremendous looking at the quarters. They went and stumped a mud hole in the third quarter thing, but which is really weird, right, Q? They stumped the mud hole in the third quarter, but they lost every other quarter. It's just crazy,
Yeah,
man. So we
the first two by double digits.
floating quarters.
I know they lost the combined the first and second quarter. They lost combined by 20 points. It was 10 in the first and 10 in the second. 45. They just wiped the floor with the Spurs in the third. And I thought that 45-point quarter would translate into them finishing strong. It didn't. So I mean, in terms of them getting the win, but yeah, it was floating quarters, multiple
2 quarters in a row. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's insane work. You know what I'm saying? So looking at that, it's a bit crazy. Concerning, man, the 3-point shooting, we have to figure this out. Going into next year, man, we got to get more shooting. You just can't. That's one reason we didn't win the game, family. A lot of people wondering too. I mean, they were 17 for 36, which is crazy. I mean, they were 47%. Teams ain't gonna shoot like that every night, but you can't go out there and shoot 27% damn near on any night. I mean, you need to at least be around 35. We took 27 3-point shots and hit 7 of them. That's concerning. That's concerning. And the other thing,
a lot of Spurs shots was wide open too, bro. Don't
oh
forget
yeah,
that.
yeah. They made them heat up, so we're not going to ignore that.
Right. Wide open 3-point shots to do it every night, man.
Yeah, man. But nonetheless, even when they aren't wide open and they do try to contest a little bit, even though them trying to contest a little bit, it's still giving up some wide open shots. Teams just in the league, man, they're just better than us at shooting 3-pointers. We're not a good 3-point shooting team. And I don't think that's going to be the identity of this team, but we got to do better than 7 for 26 because this is becoming like the norm for them, other than Fears, Trey, Sadiq Bey, everybody else is abysmal. Hawkins has been looking a little better as of late, but everybody else, Jose, can't forget about Jose. But everybody else is pretty much not a good 3-point shooter at all. We can see what Bryce McGowan's turns into. He's steadily improving every game and looking pretty solid. I like what I see from him. But the other thing that's concerning, man, and it's kind of been a trend pretty much the whole season, man, rebounding. You can't 44 to 33. You can't let them get 13 offensive rebounds and you get 4. You can't expect to win a lot of games. Can't win a lot of games like that, man. But one positive I see from the team stats that I actually love, and this I'm going to attribute to James Borrego having his hands on it. The turnovers, although we have like a lot of like live ball turnovers, like to me, when they go and they probably miss about 6 or 7 layups tonight, more than that if you don't count the ones, where we got fouled on, but James Borrego has cut down the turnovers tremendously. They had 9 tonight. And you're looking over a lot of these games, even though we got our ass whooped the other game, thinking the Nets, the turnovers were still low. He is getting them to not turn the ball over, at least this way. But they got to fix, these layups and some of them 3-point shots. Well, it's a little crazy, but a lot of that was really Jose at times, getting a little carried away. But turnovers, man, it's a positive, although I kind of just pooped on it talking about the live ball turnovers. But rebounding, man, and 3-point shooting, we got to figure something out. If they want to win some games, they got to figure out that formula. If you can't shoot 3-pointers, then you have to become a hellified defensive 3-point stopping team, because you can't win in the NBA today, man, without being able to hit 3-pointers decently. But statistically, as far as the individuals, really, like as I said earlier, what I saw from Trey, man. Trey was very assertive tonight. I saw him being very decisive. He wasn't doing all this extra dribbling that we talked about. He wasn't trying too hard to be like a playmaker or facilitator, and he kind of let the game come to him. And he was a beneficiary of a lot of Derek Queen's assists. He was cutting, and DQ was catching them. And he had some timely shots where he made some things happen by putting the ball on the floor, but actually knowing where he wanted to go when he put it down and making a decision. Like, I think sometimes Trey just forgets that, like, dude, you damn near 6'10", bro. You 6'8", 6'9". Like, it don't have to be that hard. Like, at the end of the day, you can always just rise up and shoot over somebody. I already talked about her, man. Phenomenal night, very aggressive tonight. Also being a connector, on some plays, just making the right passes and timely decisions. I thought he played a little bit better than Sadiq Bey tonight. Sadiq was still solid. Sadiq was Sadiq. He had a solid game, and that's pretty much where it stopped. He had Jose, pretty had a solid game off the bench, and Bryce was solid, but we just didn't really get a lot out of our bench. When you take Derek Queen out, and even Jose, like Derek Queen and Jose, I'm not Jose, I mean Herb and Trey, those guys on the bench, man, it just was hard to sustain the night. And unless they played 48 minutes, I don't think we were going to be able to get this victory, because we just can't trust this team to be able to execute and do the little things at the end of the game to edge out a victory. And that was the difference tonight, man. If we were an extremely disciplined team, we knew situational basketball, I think we could have edged out this win, but they didn't, because those things they're still working on. I mean, we got 2 rookies in the starting unit, and it's sad to say, but this loss tonight, it wasn't necessarily to me, because the Pels are just a 3-22 team. It's just one of them games, man, that was kind of like a learning curve, that they got to be able to figure that out. You can't give nobody a layup with 14 seconds left. Any other shot but that, you got to make it hard on them at least.
Yeah, the defense is. You heard Borrego talking about cleaning up a lot of the defensive miscues and basically mental breakdowns on defense, man. Guys ball watching, guys not knowing what he's supposed to be. It's still a lot of confusion that way. And Collins is supposed to be the guy that's responsible for getting the defense together and making sure they're tight. And you can see the Pelicans a boatload of issues, whether it's offense, we get the offense together, the defense lags. But yeah, we talked about a lot of what the Pelicans did on the other side. The bench for the Spurs really contributed, man. I mean, Harper had 22 points. Champagne had 17, 12 from Keldon Johnson, and Kelly Olynyk in 15 minutes had 11 points. So they kind of helped what the Spurs were doing, whether it was Castle or Harrison Barnes, who was the Pelican killer. He really did his thing tonight, hitting 4 3-pointers in the game. And he woke up. But, yeah, more of a complete effort on the opposite side, man. And unfortunate. But nonetheless, like I said, whether it's offense or defense, man, it just seems like we just can't get right on can't have a balanced game where we just finish strong, complete the day. The first half, we played like we played. The second half, we had some fight. And just the third quarter, to be honest with you. The fourth quarter, they kind of teetered off. You start seeing guys like what's the brother from Harper and all those start hitting shots, and he just was aggressive getting to the basket. And the Spurs just, man, they got some young talent over there, man. I'll just be watching like, damn, man, they got this Castle kid. They have Harper over there and all these other guys. They really built something stern and still were able to take care of business despite the fact that Big Gun is out. So I mean, it's just really interesting.
And we're
Yeah, I
gonna
know.
have to watch it in our division, man.
Yep.
I love what I'm saying from Ferris, but man, that's the best 2-point guard so far in the draft. I mean, I guess you could list him as combo guard because he played the two as well. And they talking about Zion getting traded to the Spurs and all that. I love it if we could fleece them out of Dylan Harper some type of way.
Man, I'll take that trade. People like, don't say trade. I'll take Harper any day, man. With the mix him and what we got with
Give us
DC.
Harper and matching salary, and we call it even.
Yeah, man. Listen, bro, I'm cool with that, man.
Him and Fizz could
But
play together too. That'll be a nice backcourt.
right, that'll be exciting, man. All right, let's move on to this here, DC. The Portland matchup, December the 11th, 7 p.m. tip-off time in the Smoothie King Center. That'll be the next matchup that we'll for the Pelicans. That's a couple days off from here. You heard them talk about getting some practice session in between the time that we get ready to take on the Trailblazers. 9-15, 6-9 on the road. Pelicans now 2-12 at home, 3-22 overall. Several players missing out. Robert Williams, Clennigan, Holiday, and the rest. Scoot Henderson is supposed to be back later on the 20th, according to the estimated return date. And the injury report on some of these players, Williams, Clennigan, and Holiday, is supposed to be on the 11th. And Jordan Poole is a very interesting character. We know Zion Williamson probably won't see him until next year. Jordan Poole is a guy that we don't know what's going on with Jordan Poole. He started.
Can't make sense of it.
Yeah, I can't tell what's going on with him on that side of it, but there are multiple, reports coming out about Poole not fitting in the Pelicans' plan. He started practicing, then he's not playing. I mean, we could definitely use this guy offensive ability, especially on a night like tonight when we don't produce enough off the bench, however you want to add it. But whatever 17 points or so, whatever he can bring will be needed. But just don't know what's going on with that. That's a very curious case behind Jordan Poole. Don't know. And if he'll be ready for this game. Now, they're saying it's the 11th. I don't know if that's the case at all. He's missed a bunch of games with us. And that is the thing. I'm like, what the hell is going on with Jordan Poole? What's the problem with him? I mean, why isn't he playing? He's only, you see he's standing up there, he's making stupid faces. He's jumping up and down. He doesn't appear to be in any pain, but he's not contributing. We've gotten Herb back. We've got Carlo Makovic back. What the hell is wrong with Poole? So why isn't he playing? So nobody has an answer
medical
for that.
staff, Q. For all we know, it might come out because remember Herb had it was a back injury, right? And we was like, damn, what when Herb hurt his back? He got a back injury. And then right before, you could wonder what he was playing, whether he was going to play or not. He was out with a calf injury. I'm like, well, how the hell it went from his back to his calf overnight? And he didn't even play.
Man, it's crazy. Just crazy.
So, it could be a similar thing. For all we know, the man got a torn ACL, Q. They all MCL. It just ain't telling us. Like, it's crazy because when you look at Jordan Poole, it is really, really, really weird. This is the most games that Jordan Poole has missed in his whole career. Combined in all the years that he's been a player, man. This dude is usually available.
They come down here and be hurt.
Right. Something wrong, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Something wrong. So, the medical staff, the way we do injuries, whatever, man, this next year, if they want to fix that, they have to do away with all of this shit, man. They gotta reset that. I don't think they're ever gonna completely move away from Oshner or whatever they're doing with them, but they need to fix the way that they address injuries, the way that they do their preparations so players don't get injured. It's still a mess. They blamed everything on basically Aaron Nelson, right? And honestly, when he was here, it was kind of better. Just other than Zion, at least everybody else was playing. So you get him up out of here. You get the new people in here with Amy. They did have that successful year. with the 49 win team. They got Zion to play, 60 something games. And then other than that, man, it has just been the worst. And we have seen some bad injury years as Pelican supporters, going all the way back to the Tyreek Evans era, Eric Gordon, and all of those guys basically sitting on the bench. And what AD was even injured too. Well, it's like we had our whole starting lineup up. And then to be right here in 2025 experiencing the same shit is crazy.
Yeah, it's not funny, man. I really, despise this injury situation. We talk about it ad nauseum over the years about what's going on with the Pelicans outside of the leadership issues. And this is probably will be the most elusive of all of the topics. That if you talk about fixing and changing things from a Pelican perspective, so they'll have access to their players playing and being on the court, so they can learn whatever system the coach is trying to teach. That that conversation will be very elusive for leadership because some of these people are in bed with these Ashna people insofar as the deals that they got where they're enriching themselves. So for them to withdraw out of this package when they're actually physically, mentally are being benefited by it will be something that they won't even look at. They just read up with the deal last year with Oshner Sports Medicine. And as you can see, we have not solved any of this. This is still going on. You mentioned the Jordan Poole thing. That hadn't happened anywhere else in his career, but he comes here and these players sit out longer than what they're supposed to. Yet Joe Dumars still he hasn't got that memo yet. He thinking it's just about finding a coach. It's more than that. If you find a head coach to come out here and speak discipline and actually get these guys to play on both sides of the court and exhibit high IQ basketball and cut down the miscues, there is still going to be the impact of an unreliable health staff. And that will be the biggest shoe to drop for them to kind of fix on and change around because they will not look at that. And it's a shame. It's a shame. But like I said, we'll see how it all go, man. At the end of the day, but next matchup is Portland. Go ahead.
That comment up there, I just wanted to respond to Jaden right quick. He said he doesn't want to play for the Pelicans, and I hear a lot of people. Yeah, shout out to Jaden again. I hear a lot of people saying that, man, but I just want y'all to know how much sense that does not make. Not saying he 100% wants to have his career here and never be traded, but if he wants to not play for the Pelicans so bad to where he's actively just not playing the games, can you please explain to me why he on the sideline jumping up and down cheering the team on? Players who don't want to be here typically don't do things like that. Don't even go to the games. So I don't think it's that. But whatever the hell it is, we need to get it fixed. And my man Stacy said Dr. James Andrew is a partner of the Pelicans now. You know anything about Mr. Andrews, Big Q?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Andrews is a surgeon over there at Oshner, a very popular one. He has I think he got a cancer center that they named after him or something like that over there. So he's very high in that Oshner monopoly system over there. But this is the thing, man. We have issues with here, and they have access to a health system, and perhaps they have the wrong individuals that's doing this, but they're not bringing any light to changing this whole thing around, and that's the problem, man. That I see that we need to change, man. That's the bottom line. So we'll see. Oh, he's on Health South. Yeah, well, he's in there with them. He's definitely some type of member tied into it because I seen the commercial with Dr. Andrews on a commercial advertising Oshner Sports Medicine and their correlation to the New Orleans Pelicans. So the president of basketball and football operations for the Saints and the Pelicans is a board of director we talked about on that. So they're being benefited by that tremendously, and they shamelessly get money through these teams, despite the fact that these teams are failing. They just sit up here and pretend like that they're not. To keep the business arrangements going, and these teams from the top down are constructed stably. They're just trying to draw out and suck out as much money as they possibly can. And Gail Benson doesn't have any heirs. So if something happens to Gail Benson, ultimately these teams will be put up for sale. But the contracts attached to both the teams will make sure that they stay attached to the city. That's also written in there, contractually tying those teams to the city so they're not pulled out and taken somewhere else or whatever. NBA wants a team in New Orleans, and the people want a team in New Orleans. They just want a winning one. So that's the other caveat to it. And these people obviously haven't been capable. Since Benson bought this team has not really done anything, man. And now that Benson's girl, he is running the team, it's just more of the same. She doesn't have any vision for any of this. She thinks sitting in the locker room and watching them celebrate when they finally do get wins is a positive thing and all this kind of stuff where you need to be. That's cool to sit there and watch, but at the end of the day, you need to figure out ways to kind of reconstruct and modernize these clubs from the top down. So that's my take.
She not worrying about that, man. That's what it is. As long as them pockets keep getting lined, she could buy her pretty dresses and do her community work and do the good stuff you saw she did tonight for the kids and all that. That's what Miss Benson worried about, man. She's the most powerful lady in the state, and that's all that matters, I think, to her. Whether they win or lose, I mean, them winning is just, a little extra cherry on the top. But I don't think she's going to do anything tremendous to push for that like you would see. What's that owner's name for the Clippers, even though that's a horrible example because he did everything money-wise, and that shit still is went left, right?
Oh, yeah, you're talking about your boy from Microsoft.
Right. They're like on opposite ends of the spectrum, man. He's how you just spend endless money and do everything wrong and still don't have it work. And she is penny pinching, never spending enough money and it don't work. So, for this to happen, it needs to be kind of somewhere in the middle. And I'm not sure if it'll ever be that with Gail. Maybe with Joe Dumars here, he could convince her maybe to do some different things. Balmer, that's right, Stacey. Appreciate that. But other than that, Dumars has been connected to her. What has it been? At least 7 or 8 years now. He's been around them, if not longer.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like that Avery Johnson connection, So maybe the trust in him will be a lot higher than it was with Griffin, and she'll actually take heed and listen to him to do the necessary things to turn this franchise around. Because we all knew when he got here, man, and that's why I don't really like everybody just like, oh, Dumars should be fired and all of this. I'm like, man, y'all knew when he was coming in here. There's no how you could have the best general manager, president of basketball operations of the NBA come here. This is not something you would have been able to fix everything in one off season. It's just not. It's too much, so they getting started. I think they did the right thing with the players we drafted. They got that going, but it's still so much more work to do, man. It's just so many little things that always get messed up. We point to the injuries or the fact that what's going on social media. I didn't even see that real time that last week they said Willie Green was doing a press conference. How is that? How is Willie Green doing a press conference when we fired him? But that's the notification they sent out to everybody's phone before they fixed it. Like, it's just stuff like that, man. Like, it just should not happen.
Yeah, everybody a heart attack when they did that.
Crazy.
Oh,
bro.
man. Yeah, it's a lot that needs to be. I mean, the sound issues, we see how low the press conference sounds are at times. The sound issue on the Saints.
Right. You still can't hear the questions.
Yeah,
Bro, this has been going on for like 7 fucking years. How are you doing interviews and we can't even hear the questions that people ask? That's crazy, man.
I know that it's a
Crazy.
part of the game, bro. It's a
What
part of
is that?
what
That
these
can't be
teams.
more than a $10,000 fix at the most.
Man, listen, that's too much money, DC. They're trying to save,
Man, that's
got
a
Christmas
drop in the
season.
bucket.
Gail got to send that money out and buy turkeys and get in prizes and
Children
gifts.
books and coats and
Yeah, and auction off a Mercedes for a worthy cause as opposed to just give it to them. I don't know. I guess So
well, that's
sure,
one way to
several.
get. That's one way to get a new car and deduct the taxes. Thank you.
There you go. That's right. Courtesy of Gail Benson. All right. So anyway, man, listen, that's all we got for this one. DC, who are you picking in this matchup before we go, man? What you got on this Portland game? Let's talk about that right quick.
Man, wait, hold up. What's Portland's record now? Let me see. Okay, they're 9 and 15, and we at home again.
Yes. I think it's time for us to get a win, man.
I think we get a win, man. Because
I think it's time for a win.
I hate the moral victory shit, but I do look at this game that they played, and I think tonight we already knew this, and that's why you hear me like, "What's going on, Queen?" and Big Q be like, "You're a rookie." Da da da. They have to, at least for crucial moments in the game or moments when you need offense, if everything is stale, they got to run the game through Derek Queen. They just have to. And I think tonight that's finally hit home. And they have to move without the ball. Derek Queen made a very good adjustment of diving instead of just standing at the three-point line, like we've been seeing him do, and just kind of like not forcing anything and just not taking shots. He's making himself available. Y'all heard AD saying that all game. And it is true because those things weren't happening, the other games. But he's somebody that's in the starting lineup, man. We don't have Zion. You don't really have another star level player. Jamar Fairs is somebody who kind of can get his, but he hasn't perfected the art of making people better. Already, Derek Queen is just uplifting the whole team, and he can make players better by finding them as soon as they get open. And I think they found something with that, man. And we're finally going to see them now to stick with it, because after what we had tonight, and you have this positivity to build off, even though they didn't win the game, almost winning, they can take this into practice and try to replicate some of these things that were working. And before I get up out of here, man, definitely shout out again to Derek Queen. I don't think we put enough emphasis on it. Historic night with the triple-double, man. Triple-double and 4 blocks. So many stats have been put up about how he's the only rookie to do this season. He's pretty much, I think what other rookie has had a triple-double ever? It was only like 2 other players, but I don't remember who they were saying that. And I know they were saying like this stat line of having the 4 blocks and 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 30 points. The only other people since the 2000s to put up this stat line is LeBron and Jokic. But I would think DeMarcus Cousins probably had it too. I think that's a little weird they're not mentioning him, because I'm pretty sure DeMarcus Cousins then had some triple doubles and 4 block games, more blocks. But nonetheless, very impressive game, historic night for the rookie, man. Shout out to him. The young man is special, and I think this is just the beginning of what we're going to see with Derek Queen. But as soon as possible, we need to get some better people in here to help bring him along, mentor him, and bring him up, man. Our claim to fame right now is DeAndre Jordan. I heard somebody in the chat was like, the coaching staff is trash. The best coach we got on the team is DeAndre Jordan, and he a player. Shout out to whoever put that in there. I'm trying to fire you, but I'm saying to give you credit. That shit funny as hell, and it's true. 504 code, yeah. 504 code put that up there.
Yeah, these coaches, man.
He's right as hell, bro. Every time I look
Yeah.
up in one of the rookies
For real,
having a
bro.
bad game or a good game, you know what I see? I
It's
see DeAndre
Jordan
with
got his arm open.
around talking to him. I'm like, look at this shit here.
Yeah.
Maybe we should keep him
Yeah.
on the coaching staff, but everybody else kick rocks.
Yeah, that's so
I
very
like
true,
Corey
man.
Brewer too. Corey Brewer is
And they ain't enough though, bro.
I mean,
Ain't
we
enough.
might
He
just
used
need
to.
a new voice though, man. Like, you know, the
Yeah,
old guys.
it's time. Just like it was time to dump Willie. It's time to get rid of his staff too, man. These guys have been here. We need other. I mean, they did bring in their own coach. I think an assistant coach. They put him over player performance. That was a guy that Troy Weaver knew. But outside of that, the vast majority of all these assistant coaches from Collins and all these guys, Casey, I mean, they're seasoned NBA coaches. I mean, assistants, but my goodness, man, this is we've had enough of this, man. We need somebody with a resume, a championship resume. So when they talk, teams listen. They know how to use these talented players that we have, like Derek Queen, and he's definitely fulfilling this promise to Joe Dumas to make him look like a genius for selecting him. So I mean, instead of one dude, Joe made the swing and got two very promising players to kind of move this thing forward. Trey Murphy, I think he'll be a part of it. But in the end, man, we have more than enough assets to kind of turn this thing around once these guys start getting healthy, man. So, I mean, we'll be here to monitor it. I think the Portland game will be a win. I think our Pelicans will finally get the fourth win of the season, man, against Portland in the Smoothie King Center, man. It's time for a win. No doubt about it. All right, so with that being said, fam, I appreciate y'all so much for listening on the show. Y'all do us a service. Please feel free to hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feeds. Shout out to all you guys. Appreciate y'all for watching tonight. Stacy, Slim, Brother Damon. Shout out to you, my man. Big Sean, Tasha. Much love. Owata, cuz. Hope I said that right, bro. If I didn't, but if I butchered it, that's on me. 504 Cole, Jaden, all y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream. As always, what's up, Steph? Shout out to Steph, Mike Garcia, and everybody, man, for giving us y'all valuable tonight. Tech Blitz, I see your fam as well.
Appreciate all
big
y'all.
ups to y'all. Miggy, what's up, Miggy, my man? Appreciate you as well for joining in, Brother Wallace, and everybody, man. Listen, we're going to holler at you on the next one, man. Got a couple days before we see for the Portland Trailblazers matchup. And Pels, in my opinion, we're going to get that, man. Oh, what up, cuz? Okay. Okay. Thank you for that abbreviation. I got you, man. Oh, what up, cuz? I got you, brother. Yeah, I thought you was just the Spanish and some shit going on over there, brother. I don't know what's happening over there. Yeah, I was like, man, what that's octopi or whatever. I don't know what the hell going on. But oh, what up, cuz? That make a lot of sense. I appreciate y'all, man. We're gonna holler at y'all on the next one. Much love, peace. Go Pels.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Yeah, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never. Say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever.
Hey, New Orleans! Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the WhoDatDaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the WhoDatDaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I first ditched big wireless and started using Mint Mobile way back in 2019.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pels Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links